When you look at Petra today, you see broken stone, cracked facades, empty streets, silence. But rewind 2,000 years, and this place was anything but quiet. Merchants shouting prices, water rushing through hidden channels cut into the rock, camels loaded with silk, spice, and incense, their footsteps echoing down a narrow stone canyon.
I'm Theo, and today we're walking straight into the Petra nobody shows you.
Archaeologists believe people were living around this valley since prehistoric times, but the city we're about to explore was built by the Nabataeans, an Arab trading people starting as early as the 4th century BCE. UNESCO calls Petra a caravan city, a crossroads between Arabia, Egypt, and Syria Phoenicia, which basically means almost everyone moving valuable cargo across the ancient world eventually passed through here. Let's go meet them. This is the Sick, a natural crack in the mountain, over a kilometer long, with sheer walls climbing up to 80 meters on either side. Quiet, right? But look closer. Carved into that wall, a channel. Researchers have traced Nabataean water pipes running along this exact path, carrying spring water into the city, while dams further back held off the flash floods that could tear through this narrow gorge in minutes without warning. Wait, they piped water through solid rock, through a canyon over 2,000 years ago? Meanwhile, I still can't get my garden hose to reach the other side of the yard. And then, suddenly, the canyon opens, and you're standing in front of the treasury, carved straight into the cliff face. Most visitors stop right here. But here's the strange part. This isn't even the city. This is basically the entrance hall. Evidence shows the treasury's facade, like most of Petra's carved monuments, was once covered in a layer of smooth stucco and painted in bright color, not the bare rose-pink stone we see now. Its exact purpose is still debated, though many researchers connect it to a Nabataean king. Keep walking, and you'll find over 600 carved facades lining these cliffs. Petra wasn't one monument. It was an entire skyline carved into a mountain. Because Petra wasn't a museum, it was a marketplace. The Nabataeans grew rich as middlemen, moving frankincense from southern Arabia, silk from China, and spices from India toward the markets of Rome and Greece. Researchers estimate the population reached into the tens of thousands, living in the middle of a desert that gets almost no rainfall at all. That's not a quiet, abandoned ruin. That's a working, breathing metropolis. Keep walking past the tombs, and the architecture changes completely. Freestanding buildings, built, not carved, out of quarried stone. A grand colonnaded main street lined with columns and shop fronts. The great temple complex, sprawling across thousands of square meters. And nearby, Qasr al-Bint, believed to be Petra's principal temple, one of the only freestanding structures still standing today. This wasn't just tombs cut into a canyon wall. This was an actual downtown. And here's a detail most people never hear about. Archaeologists uncovered a hidden garden terrace here, complete with a monumental swimming pool, over 40 meters long, and an island pavilion rising from the water at its center, likely built for Petra's wealthy elite. A resort in the middle of the desert, with a pool and a garden. Honestly, the Nabataeans may have had better vacation planning than I do. Now here's the real miracle, and it's not the buildings. This region gets barely 15 centimeters of rain a year, and yet Petra supported a thriving city, because the Nabataeans built diversion dams to tame flash floods, carved channels to capture every drop, and hid hundreds of plaster-lined cisterns throughout the cliffs. They engineered a desert into an oasis. Meanwhile, I forget to water one houseplant. So picture it. Not gray, weathered stone, but facades glowing in white, red, and gold under the desert sun. Water trickling through fountains and public pools. A theater carved into the hillside, packed with people. Caravans resting in the shade of the cliffs. Incense drifting through the market air. This wasn't a ruin waiting to be found. This was one of the ancient world's great living cities. So what happened? A massive earthquake struck in 363 AD, collapsing buildings and damaging the water system across the city. Trade routes gradually shifted toward the sea, and Petra slowly lost its place at the center of the map. Over centuries, the city was largely forgotten by the outside world, hidden behind its mountains, until a Swiss explorer rediscovered it for the West in 1812. What he found wasn't truly empty. It was waiting. Today, we see the ruins. Silent stone, empty streets, a photograph waiting to be taken. But for centuries, this wasn't a ruin. There was water running through these channels, voices filling these streets, color painted across every wall. Families building entire lives here, generation after generation, in a city carved from rock. This was home. I'm Theo, and I'll see you on the next journey through history.